Hello everyone, welcome to the course Mental Health and Wellbeing, module number 4, Advanced Skills for Mental Health, and lecture number 5, that is Social Responsibility and Mental Wellbeing. I am Ansuman Arjari, clinical psychologist. So these are the learning objectives. So understand the social determinants of mental health and how individual and communities can enhance collaborative well-being. Understand how to design and implement advocacy and outreach programs to reduce stigma and improve access to mental health care. Explore ways to build inclusive, safe and supportive space for at-risk groups. Gain skills to develop and deliver effective mental health educations and awareness initiatives. And lastly, learn how to build a partnership with the local organizations to enhance the risks and effects of mental health programs. So, social responsibility in the context of mental health refers to the ethical obligations of individuals, communities, organizations and government to actively support mental health and well-being in society. This involves creating inclusive environment that reduce stigma, promoting mental health awareness, providing access to mental health service and supporting policies that uphold psychological well-being for all, especially the vulnerable populations. This concept is basically emphasize collective efforts to ensure that the mental health is recognized as a shared public concern, not just as a personal issue. It includes advocating for equitable treatment, fostering empathy and understanding and contributing to a culture where mental health is prioritized, protected. So it's like how this social responsibility supports mental well-being. So this like social responsibility actions and how this impact on mental well-being. Social responsibility action like providing access to mental health service directly impacting to the reduces disparities and ensures everyone can get help. Mental health educations and awareness campaign decrease stigma and encourages people to seek support. Advocating for social justice and equity directly impacting on the improves well-being by addressing root causes like poverty, discriminations and trauma. Community outreach and volunteering impacting to some extent build social support and trust, improving mental health outcomes. Policy involvement and systematic changes leads to lasting improvement in healthcare, education and then safety. So, how to foster this well-being in the community? There are some ways to foster how to create the space for the well-being in the community. So, fostering well-being in your community means creating an environment where people feel safe, connected and supported and empowered. On the other hand, like fostering well-being in your community is important because it strengthens the social fabric, improves quality of life, promotes mental and physical health, increase safety and security, builds social connections and belongingness and create a more resilient and supportive environment for everyone. So these are the key steps how we can kind of build a community well-being in the community. So encourage social connection. The social connection is one of the fundamental needs of a human being like food, shelter and water. For example, people who are connected to the social, they are highly having a less kind of mental health issues, and elderly people, those who are connected with the people, connection with the social situations in the community, they are having a low risk of geriatric issues like dementia and other some kind of mental health issues. So how we can promote this social connection is basically like organizing community events like neighborhood potlucks, block parties or cultural festivals in your community. Create shared spaces like community gardens, libraries or parks where people can meet and interact frequently. Supports like local clubs or interests, group for the sports, arts and hobbies. Promote mental health and emotional support. This is like to some extent how this, for example, kind of emotional support and mental health educating will help the people to understand and then having a kind of knowledge about the mental health issues. So kind of a host mental health workshops or awareness campaigns like in school, colleges, in community, in villages like self-help groups. We can organize a workshops on mental health awareness campaign where people can understand and know the signs and symptoms of mental illness. Create peer support networks or safe spaces for open dialogue. Partner with the local therapists or mental health professionals to provide accessible services. Support physical health, encouraging physical health activity by organizing walks, runs or fitness classes, or improve access to healthy food through community gardens or farmer markets. Promote clean and safe environments by reducing pollutions and maintaining green spaces. Empower through education and skill building, like offering a free or low cost classes in literacy, financial planning, digital skills or parenting help to some extent for the community people to empower education and skill building, and then support local schools and advocate for inclusive educations where the school and colleges can include the curriculum like awareness on mental health and curriculum like positive mental health activities. Encourage mentorship between generations or professions. Foster inclusivity and belongingness. Celebrate the diversity by recognizing different culture, religions and traditions. Ensure accessibility for people with disabilities. Listen to marginalized voices and involve them in community planning. So, the mental health advocacy and outreach, like this, mental health advocacy involves efforts to influence policies, reduce stigma, increase awareness, and protect the rights of individuals with mental health conditions. So, this mental health advocacy nowadays basically involves key focus areas on the like human rights, rights of person with disability, and public awareness, making the awareness people about the mental health issues and then their rights, legal reforms and community support. So, mental health advocacy plays a vital role in reducing and ultimately eliminating the stigma surrounding mental illness. Stigma involves negative attitudes, stereotypes and then discrimination towards people with mental health conditions. So, advocacy seeks to challenge these misconceptions and promote understanding, acceptance and support. So, these are the key advocacy strategies where we can use as a developing outreach to public education campaign to challenge stigma, like educating the public about myths about the mental health conditions, myths and facts about the mental health conditions, and educating about the early signs and symptoms of mental health conditions. Legal advocacy for mental health rights, media engagement and storytellings, building partnership with the NGOs, schools and healthcare providers. So, these are the basically key outreach strategies, mental health camps and mobile clinics. Like for example, we can organize a kind of mental health camps in the community where we can talk about the mental health issues, signs and symptoms, and where if there is a mental health issues, then where we can get the treatment. This kind of awareness camps or workshops related to the positive mental health can be organized in the community. School-based wellness programs, like as I said in the mental health camps, we can organize some kind of activity that will help the students to build a positive mental well-being. Online support platforms and helplines like Telemanas, this is a Government of India initiative. It's a 24/7 mental health support. So, you can call to the 14416 for the help, and it offers apart from English or Hindi, they have around 20 regional languages where we can get the help. Integration of mental health at primary health care, like with the help of district mental health program, we can collaborate in the primary health care about organizing a camps and then organize a camps about the screening of the mental health conditions. Sometimes we can use a role of life experiences, like the people who already avail the services and they got the benefits. So, involving services users as peer supporters or advocates or educators. Stories of recovery can reduce the fear and stigma from seeking help. supports user-centered service designs. But there are some kind of barrier and challenges for this. So, these barriers and challenges may be like cultural stigma and misconceptions about the mental health, lack of funding and trained personnel because of like financial constraint, and lack of personnel people who are trained on the mental health. Because of that also, like there is challenges to build this kind of outreach activities, low prioritizations in public health policies, language and literacy barriers sometimes. So, how does community engagement impact on mental health? So, basically the community engagement refers to the active participations of individuals in collective activities and decisions making process that affects their communities. It includes like volunteering, participating in local organizations, attending community meetings and engaging in social cultural events. Beyond this, like its social and civic values, community engagement plays a significant role in enhancing mental and well-being. So, how this community engagement impacts on mental health? One is like enhance social support and reduce isolations. One of the primary benefits of community engagement is the strengthening of social networks. Being part of the community provides individual a sense of belongingness, shared identity and emotional support. Example like elderly individuals who participates in community centers or local clubs. They have the lower level of depression, anxiety, loneliness, and then geriatric issues like dementia problem. And if they have some kind of issues, then there is a high chances of higher recovery. Social connection act as a buffer against the stress and anxiety, contributing to emotional stability and psychological resiliences. Build self-esteem and purpose. Engagement in community activities kind of gives the individual a sense of purpose and accomplishment. When people feel that their contributes matter, it reinforces their self-worth and confidence. Engaging in a meaningful task like volunteering or mentoring can reduce symptoms of depression by shifting focus from personal struggles to helping others. So, community recognition to some extent give a positive feedback for further boost in mental well-being. Encourage healthy coping mechanisms. Communities often provide a positive role model and resources for mental health, such as peer support groups, awareness workshops, or recreational activities. So, these outlets to some extent promote positive or constructive coping mechanisms by learning from the workshops, awareness programs, and getting help from the peer support. And then help people express emotions in a healthy way, encourage individual to seek help when there is a need. Supports collective resiliences in times of crisis such as natural disaster, economic hardships or pandemics like COVID times. Communities with high level of engagement tend to recover faster and experience fewer mental health issues. Strong community ties promote mutual aid, reduce fear and create a sense of shared responsibility. So, individual feels less isolated in their sufferings, leading to a better psychological outcomes. So, benefits of vulnerable populations, community engagement in particularly impactful for the vulnerable groups, including youths, the elderly, individual with disabilities and then marginalized populations apart from the person with mental health issues. So, programs tailored to their needs like youth clubs, women self-help groups offer a safe space for interaction, learning and emotional support. So, creating a supportive environment for vulnerable populations. So, basically to some extent vulnerable populations such as children, elderly persons with disabilities, refugees, marginalized communities and those with the chronic illnesses like cancer and other diseases often face a systematic barrier that affects their health, safety and well-being. So, creating supportive environment is essential for ensuring their safety and security, access to resources and then social inclusion and respects opportunities for participations. So, how to create this supportive environment? So, there are some ways to create supportive environments in our community. It's like promoting culturally competent mental health services, Culturally responsive care involves tailoring mental health professionals to understand and then respect cultural, ethnic, sexual and gender differences. This includes recognizing different expressions of distress and being sensitive to cultural stigma surrounding mental illness. So, implementing anti-discrimination policies like supportive environment begin with zero tolerance of discrimination in educational institutions, workplace and healthcare settings, policies that protect the rights of marginalized group like anti-racism, gender equality, disability rights help reduce stresses and foster inclusions. Community-based mental health programs, decentralized mental health service embedded with the communities make support more accessible. Mobile clinics, peer support groups and partnership with the local leaders can help to reach undeserved populations. Increasing access to mental health resources. Access can be improved by providing affordable or free mental health services, expanding telehealth options, offering service in multiple languages and reducing logistics barriers like transportation, child care. The promoting mental health education and research, how to promote this mental health education and awareness in the community and school and colleges. For example, promoting mental health education and awareness is essential for creating a supportive, informed and empathetic society. So, why it matters? For the early intervention, like promoting a mental health education to some extent increase the chances of identifying mental health issues early, like knowing the issues of mental health issues early, it's a high chance of better prognosis. Stigma reduction, encourage open conversations and reduce shames about the discussions of the mental health issues. Improve outcomes, educate, commitment can support recovery and well-being. Informed choices help people to recognize symptoms and seek appropriate help. So, these are the components of mental health educations where we can include these components for the better understanding of the mental health. So, informations on mental health and illness. To some extent, we can include the signs and symptoms of mental health, the different varieties, different mental health issues and how this illness impact on the day-to-day activities. So, providing these informations may help people to understand and take help as soon as possible. Skills for emotional regulation and stress management techniques, for example, like physical activity, relaxation training can be included in the mental health educations. Recognition of early signs and symptoms, resources for help and treatment options, like by including the options like where to get the treatments, for example, district mental health program and apart from like other mental health institutions where we can get the treatment. Promotion of positive mental health practices. Positive mental health practices like for example, physical activity, enough sleep, gratitude journaling and then sharing. So, this kind of positive attitudes, positive things can impact on the mental health and then improve positive mental health. So, these are the key strategies for the promotions of mental health education and awareness. Like education in school and workplace, curriculum integrations include mental health topics in health educations or life skills program, workshops and seminars, hosting a regular sessions on stress management, the school, colleges, in the community, resilience and mindfulness will help to some extent promotion of mental health. And then mental health first aid training, train student, teachers or employee to recognize the signs and symptoms of distress or any other mental health issues. So, awareness campaign like use social media, share stories, tips and resources using engaging visuals and like hashtag like the mental health matters. Organize events like for example, World Mental Health Day. Every 10 October is organized, observe as a mental health day, and it's a great opportunity for team events like events and talks. The theme of the World Mental Health Day in 2025 is kind of, it's time to prioritize mental health in the workplace. Distribute educational material like poster, browser and newsletters with the key facts and support information. Community engagement, partner with mental health professionals, NGOs or public health organizations, host support groups, panel discussions, question and answers with the psychologists, psychiatrists, offer resources in multiple languages and formats to reach diverse populations. So, collaborating with local organizations for mental health initiative. So, how does collaboration with local organization NGOs help to improve the mental health initiatives and promote mental well-being in the community? So, basically like collaborating with local organizations for mental health initiative is important because they offer cultural understanding, community trust and access to underdeveloped populations. This partnership ensures service are relevant, accepted and sustainable, leading to better outreach, early intervention and long-term impact. So, these are the strategies for successful collaboration. Establish clear and shared goals and expectation with the local NGOs, foster open and ongoing communications with the people who are working in the NGOs, develop trust through transparency and respect, create a formal agreements outlining roles and responsibilities, build capacity through training and technical support. So, challenges in collaboration, conflicting priorities and agendas, communication barriers and power imbalance sometimes, limited capacity or resources, accountability and coordination issues. So, these are the summary. To summarize, like social responsibility and mental well-being focuses on how individuals, communities and organizations can work together to support mental health and build emotionally healthy societies. This emphasizes the collective duty to reduce stigma and promote mental health awareness and create an inclusive supportive environment, especially for vulnerable populations. In essence, social responsibility and mental well-being means taking collective actions to prioritize mental health as a vital component of societal progress and human dignity. Thank you, and these are the references. Thank you.